Shalom. Call halal Yahweh Bashem Abishai Bashem Rakakwadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders. Salutations to all my fellow laborers doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so. To the confusion of faith, brothers joined unto our ranks. You know, all the my fellow laborers that do this work, the Akwaf that are listening and learning. To you I give a sincere Shalom. This is your brother MALCHAAMAH from the branch of GMS here in Chicago. And it's going to be a quick video. But, you know, I was making myself some breakfast and I just turned on this show called Colony. I'm just letting it play in the background. Because someone that, you know, one of my clients, actually a Jewish doctor, was telling me about it because we talk about current events and things that are happening in the world, you know. The Israelites. She knows that she's not an Israelite. She clearly knows that. She knows she's Jewish, you know. But nevertheless, in our conversation, she brought up this show because she said a lot of things that we talk about are depicted in this show because she also understands predictive programming and that is used. All right, she's a psychiatrist who's worked with the government, so she might be trying to set me up. You never know. But no, I knew her way before I came into the truth. So, but nevertheless. This right here, this is an Iskarite, and his name in the show is Geronimo. And when you think, and I just started really, thinking about and contemplating everything that's going on in this show and with this character, and he supposedly was the leader of a resistance against an oppressive government, all right, which these stormtroopers that are because he's standing at a makeshift gallows. They made a gallows. They started building the gallows before his trial even started. You saw the workers come out and put the gallows together. So they had already set him up. And there was a Jewish guy he was talking to who also played, who was trial. I didn't see a jury. All I saw was him. And he interviewed him. He was the one that took him into custody. He also ended up being his judge. And they made a deal because this guy just wanted to look good before his superiors, the judge guy. So they made a deal that if this guy pleaded guilty to certain things, that he would let him go. He just wanted to give the people something to calm them down from all the events that were taking place. But you also have to think, 9/11. 9/11, the math doesn't add up. They want to make 1 + 1 = 3 so bad with 9/11, but nothing about 9/11 adds up. So same scenario. You got the mainstream media feeding the public a story about this man who happens to be of the Northern Kingdom, a so-called Iskarite. And his name is Geronimo. And if you remember, Geronimo also led, a resistance for 30 years against the U.S. government. The stormtroopers, the cavalry at the time, were trying to hunt him down. But nevertheless, let's get some scriptures, man. Because this guy ended up going to the gallows and being put to death by Esau because he trusted the word of a devil, man. This is Isaiah 55 and Psalms 55:3. Because of the voice of the enemy, because of the oppression of the wicked, for they cast iniquity upon me. And in wrath, they hate me. All right. So this is also letting you know, too, that Esau is letting you know to the Northern Kingdom that he's on to you, that he knows that you're also the Israelites and that you're in rebellion against him by reclaiming your Israelite heritage, which many of you have come to understand and know. Some of you embrace it. Some of you know it. And many of you just ignore it or don't care. Same thing with Judah. But you can see he's wearing a full beard, and he looked like he could very well be one of the brothers standing on the line to my left and my right. Okay, you could put him right into one of the camps. So this is not by accident. And even though the light is too bright on the screen, right over his head, it says righteousness exalteth. Whose righteousness? Esau's righteousness, because he's a liar, man. This is Psalms 55:3, and it says, the wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray, speaking. They go They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. All right? Their poison is like the poison of a serpent. They are like the deaf adder that stoppeth her ear. Because those soldiers, he was in the back. The trial was over. And he went to the back and thought that he was about to get released. He stuck his hands out to remove the cuffs. And instead, the bald Edomite behind him that's about to put the black hood over his head puts puts that gag in his mouth, and then they drag him outside to the gallows that were prepared while he was inside having the trial. Okay. What's my next scripture? It's Zechariah 11:5, and it says, "Whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty, and they that sell them say, Blessed be Yahweh, for I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not." Okay, so Esau will send you to your death and have no problem with it, man. You serve this purpose. This is Revelation 2 and well, you know what? 10 is the point, but I'm gonna read verse 9 because if I don't want to let sound go or anything like that, or let the images play because I don't want to get hit with some copyright mess. But as he's being hung, the Jewish judge stands right next to him as they pull the lever and let him fall to his death and hang. All right. And so I'm going to read verse Revelation 2:9 anyway. It says, "I know thy works and tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich, and I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan." All right. So you got to remember, man, these Amalekites, man, Amalek is claiming your heritage, man. And even though it's an easy thing to prove that they're Amalek, they go hard at trying to keep up the lie that they've perpetrated for hundreds of years at this point, man. Because you got to remember, there was a time when they were claiming to be converts. Then you go back a couple of hundred years, then all of a sudden they started claiming they're the actual people. Okay? And they're not. It's an easy thing to prove, but yet, it's going to be hard to go against people that completely own the media. The same thing that was done in this show. They were broadcasting this trial live over the air and everything, and it was all manipulated and set up. And while you got to remember, they were building the gallows for him to hang as the trial was going on. They had the Issacharites, his own people, his own brethren, and a couple Judites out there building the device that was going to put him to death. Revelation 2:10, "If in none of those things which thou shalt suffer, behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison." All right, so that's how you know that the devil is talking about a man, a people, the deceivers, Esau, Edom, Amalek being the head of that. All right, they're going to put men like this who are resisting evil, because that's all he was really doing. He wasn't really doing anything wrong. He was resisting evil and trying to give people a voice of hope, and they labeled him as this monster when they're the monsters. All right, but it says, "For none of these things which thou shalt suffer, behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life," man. So some of the men of the Lord are going to get that power, because that's what Esau really fears, man. And no amount of weaponry and stormtroopers is going to be able to protect them when the true bright burn, when the true Avengers, the true X-Men, which are the Israelites, get raised up and get that power, man. All right. But let's go to close out with 2nd Ezra. All right, because look, once Esau catch you up, just say, hey, just tell him, fuck you. Because there's no making no deals with him. You can't trust him. And all Esau's going to do is do exactly what they did to him. He thought that it was over, and next thing you know, he's on his way to the gallows. All right, but this is, I believe it's, not 2nd Ezra, but Sirach. Sirach 12:10. It says, "Never trust thy enemy, For like his iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. You can't trust that word, man. Because you take, I collect swords, swords and edged weapons. I'm into that sort of thing. I'm a martial artist by trade, personal trainer, martial artist. I've been doing that for 30 years, man. All right. And there's certain blades that you have to take more care of because the blades begin to rust. You got to have the proper oils and things to wipe them. Well, Esau is like that, man. Esau, he'll tell you just because you wipe that rust away don't mean it's gone. It's going to come back. So Esau's word is the same way, man. You can't trust him. Verse 10, never trust thy enemy, for like his iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him, that thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that rust have not been altogether wiped away. So Esau's not going to be righteous until he's gone, until the Lord puts him down, and they serve their 1,000-year punishment, their 1,000-year slavery, as the Bible promises, double unto them for what they did. All right, and then they're rounded up as pertaining to the book of Obadiah, and they're destroyed. There's no way around it, man. That's what's going to happen. All right, you can never trust them. All right. Verse 12, set him not by thee, lest when he have overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. And they've done that. Now they're claiming to be the Israelites. They claim to be the Jews, claiming to be the Anglo-Saxons, and they're none of the things. They're the biblical Edomites, the sons of Esau, Edom, who was put by. All right. Set him not by thee. And what did John Hyrcanus do back in that time before Yahushua? All right, they did that forced conversion. Those Edomites and those Edomites started calling themselves Jewish, and then the Herodians rose up, and next thing you know, you got these people to this day saying that they're the people of the Lord, and they're not. Okay. Set him not by thee, lest when he have overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat. And thou at the last remember my words, and be pricked therewith. So, hey, don't get caught up believing in Esau Edom, man. He is the devil that the Bible speaks of. Call halal Yahweh Bashim Abashai Bashim Wakakwadash Wa Abba Babal.